Don't buy Starfield. Bring the hate. As someone who has a mild bit of excitement for Starfield, which was announced during the Xbox and Bethesda event in early June, I'm just a bit pessimistic, as just looking at this game, it kind of looks like a No Man's Sky clone, but probably has a larger team and better funding. I just can't help but look back at some of Bethesda's previous works, as with some of their previous works or recent projects, they were highly ambitious with the early gameplay showcasing a vast open world with new or improved game mechanics that would just quickly build hype. And their hype man, what's it, Todd Howard or whatever, doesn't really do the best job at making people kind of just go like, yeah, I can believe what you say, because he seems to say things that when the game is kind of being shipped out or being announced, he'll say certain things, and all of a sudden you'll be like, wow, this game didn't have anything. I mean, it's also left to interpretation. I mean, like, when they said, like, 200 endings are in the Fallout games, I guess you could leave that up into interpretation, because think about it like this, they probably do have about 200 endings, depending on, like, you know, your skill trees, or all the perks that you choose, the characters that you bring along, all the side quests. I mean, there are probably a lot of endings, but I guess that's not really 200 endings, because it's just the same ending with different cards around it. And it seems like, to me, just seeing a lot of the gameplay, it kind of just looks like Fallout in space. And I guess that could be a good thing or bad thing. I mean, I didn't fully enjoy Fallout 76. I thought the game was trash. But again, that was an open world version. That was barely an open world game. That was very highly microtransactioned. And it seemed like they didn't really care up until the last few months, when they seemed to be releasing new content for it. Now, again, I think Starfield looks cool. I think the gameplay would be pretty cool. And it seems like a No Man's Sky clone. And I'm okay with it. I'm very okay with it. If you want to do something like that and make a better No Man's Sky at launch, I'm cool with it. But something in me doesn't feel like there's, with the scope of the game and all the gameplay we've seen so far, which is like about 15 minutes that you can find on like anywhere if you just type in like, I don't know, Starfield gameplay on the internet, that it doesn't look like something that's going to be that great. It looks a lot better than it probably will end up being, and that's, I mean, I feel like you're going to get into the open world, it's going to be very boring, a lot of you just running around, and if that's what you enjoy, fine, that's great. But personally, I don't think the game's going to be worth $60, $70 at launch. I mean, people are probably going to be like, wow, you're the dude that will go out and just say, like, Call of Duty every year, you're going to buy it and play it and whatever else, and that I guess negates my point about anything I want to say. But at least, like, for some, all intents and purposes, I guess, the Call of Duty brand at least gives me $60, $70 every year, for the most part. At least I can say I can justify my money. I mean, the battle passes that come out, I don't have to pay for the battle passes. I don't have to pay for any of the DLC. A lot of the battle passes and the maps are free at some point. So, by the end of it, at least I paid $70 for a complete game somewhere, where I feel like at this game, and even at launch, the game is pretty close to, I would say, to $70, depending on which way you want to really swing it. I mean, I feel like we're not going to get into that. Fuck it. Anyway, my point is this. I think Starfield, I mean, it's going to be on the Xbox Game Pass thing, which is going to be a huge plus. That will cause me to download it, because if I'm able to just spend like $10 on Game Pass and get a bunch of different games, and this isn't some sort of ad for Game Pass, by the way, then great. I don't have to pay any money for Starfield. But at the other side of that, don't buy it. I wouldn't buy Starfield yet. Wait for some of the early reviews to come out. Wait for something, some sort of feedback from a guy like me that you can trust on the internet, because I at least am very unbiased, other than, actually, even Call of Duty games. As someone who plays crap loads of Call of Duty games, I'm pretty unbiased. I'm happy to tell you whether I think a game is trash or not trash, and maybe you believe me, maybe you don't. That's up to you. That's up to you as a viewer to believe me, this random man on the internet that you just listened to. Again, I think also that a lot of the game mechanics do look interesting. It does seem very, very more closer to this weird mishmash of No Man's Sky and Fallout, and I wonder how that will actually go. But again, it's free on Game Pass, so you might as well just give it a shot if you can. But I don't recommend going for it, because it seems like a lot of the things that Bethesda's done in the last, I don't know, few years, they seem to build up hype, and either things are left on the cutting room floor right before launch, which seems to not be Todd Howard's MO. Todd Howard's MO is that what they'll do is they actually, like, whatever they announce pretty much right up to the launch, which the launch is like next year, so things could easily change from now until next year, but I can't imagine the graphics are going to be this good, or that the gameplay will be this smooth. It never happens with a Bethesda game. It's always a rocky launch. It's always kind of a you want more kind of feeling from their games sometimes. Besides the Elder Scrolls Skyrim, if you played that game and that's your kind of basis for everything, that game was, I don't think they've hit that game, that standard, for a long time in a lot of their games. At least I personally don't feel as though they've done that. So I kind of want to know what you think in the comments section below. Are you going to get Starfield, and why? And do you think that people should hold off until the game actually launches? What are your thoughts on Starfield? Do you think it'll be good or bad? Let me know in the comments section below. And, well, eat Arby's and bye.